Hey my lovely people, I am System Check 66, welcome to the channel, and there's been some new leaks regarding the Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, I don't know if these are true, if they're not, you guys should take this with a big grain of salt, but we're going to get into it. So I know that a few other channels have covered these, and we're only going off by this Reddit post, a lot of us, so I don't know whether this guy's made it up, or what's going on. 1 minute people are saying that Krauser's cut, next minute he's not cut. Just wanted to share this with you guys, because if it is true, then you know some of the things are quite interesting, quite cool. So it starts off by saying, in the remake, 2 things were cut. 1 was a boss fight area, and 2 was a cut enemy. I believe it's the sisters, the Chainsaw Sisters. They've been cut, but they used to scare the shit out of me, so I hope that's not the truth. But Salvador will do anyway. They're not going to cut him, so. The game's action segments will be like RE3 Remake and Resident Evil Village. There will be stalker roles in the game. Apparently, Gugu will kind of have that role and fit that role, so that's pretty cool. And also the chainsaw dude, Salvador. The Hookman is going to be in the game as a boss fight. Interesting. Some beta assets are going to be in it, and the game starts off with you playing as Ashley first, then you play as Leon after, so that would match up with kind of the trailer for the game. Krauser is in the remake. His character will be fleshed out more. Now what I will say with that is he could actually be in the remake. They could have just done a Swift 360 and put him in the game, because it's still being developed, so they could have easily done that because they saw the backlash. You know, obviously people are going to be pissed. I fucking love Krauser. Lots of people love Krauser. A friend of mine absolutely loves the knife fight between Krauser and Leon. It's iconic, you know, and I remember showing him that, and us both just like going crazy for it. So yeah, if Krauser's actually taken out of this game, I'm going to be pissed. A lot of people are going to be pissed. So I hope that is true. So yeah, his character will be fleshed out more. The village section will be way more spaced out. To be honest, with that one, anyone could make that assumption. Definitely, you know, get that on the mark. Of course it will. It's going to be probably like a proper little hub area. Giant spiders will be in the remake as well. This I'm calling bullshit on. We haven't had giant spiders in the games after, trying to think now. God, it'd be like Resident Evil 0. Could be any later games after that. But yeah, we haven't had them for a long time. And every time we get a leak, whether it be Resident Evil 8 or RE3 Remake or whatever it is, we always have this, the giant spiders will be back. So I'm calling bullshit on that one, definitely. The game has 8 new enemies and also has stealth in the game as well. It's kind of interesting. It is more of an action game. It wouldn't surprise me, it wouldn't be weird, I guess. You kind of have to stealth past the lickers in the RE2 Remake and RE3 Remake, so yeah. If you can call it stealth, you just kind of walk quietly, but and don't run and stuff like that and fire your guns. The merchant will have more backstory as well as Dr. Salvador. That's cool, great added bonus if that's the truth. The island will have less action and will be in the lab most of the game. Cool, I like the lab. So that's cool. So I'm glad they're kind of focusing more on the lab than the actual island, because the island's cool though in its own way. But yeah, I preferred getting to the lab areas and stuff. So Mercenaries is returning, and Dr. Salvador will be a stalker enemy, but will be taller than Leon now, and will have a boss fight in the warehouse when Luis and Leon are fighting the Granados. You can switch to first person, and the kick mechanic is returning. The game has new areas, and Ashley will have improvements in helping Leon unlock doors, and will have a small knife. She will be able to push enemies and give Leon stuff to help him in battle. And the Bella sisters are cut from the remake. Albert Wesker will be a small boss fight. In the remake, the game will have more survival gameplay. And Salazar is in the remake still, and in the final boss fight you will fight Human Saddler and then Spider Saddler, and the side characters will have a mini story DLC. The demo release date is either November or December or January. So there you go, pick your date. Yeah, interesting. The guy who's written this, not to be disrespectful, but you know, can't write for shit. Yes, I don't know how to take this really. I feel like, I hope the Krauser thing is genuine. A lot of the other stuff is stuff that's already been mentioned. I want Krauser in the game. I don't want Capcom to have cut him. It's easy to put him back in. They can do it while they're still developing the game. So let's just do that. Let's have that done if that's the truth. They did cut him, but there's a lot of things I guess that could be easily made up. Playing as Ashley in the beginning. Yeah, well, that's probably going to happen, like, because they show you in the trailer, they show you a scene of her running away in the village, which we didn't get in the old one. So yeah, it looked like maybe we would be playing as her, but like I said, like leaks and rumours and things like that, they could just come out of nowhere. This guy doesn't give us a source, he doesn't say anything about where it's come from. I thought maybe I'd cover it, seeing as every other Resident Evil channel might be covering this. So it's interesting because cutting the Bella sisters, that's going to suck. They used to scare the shit out of me. Like, Salvador, as scary as it is, but the Bella sisters are even freakier. Having Verdugo as a stalker enemy makes sense, because Verdugo kind of stalks you in that boss fight in the original, so just not surprising. 8 new enemy types and sort of variations. Yeah, of course. Like, we are going to get some new stuff. It's a remake. But are they cutting stuff? So they said they might have cut like one enemy. Well, if that's like the Bella sisters, it's going to suck, like, because you shouldn't be cutting things anyway, Capcom. This is one of the biggest issues that people have, especially since you made such a song and dance about the fact that the RE engine scans real world stuff, and that's why you couldn't put giant spiders and the like in the game, and you had an issue creating the giant alligator for the RE2 remake, which was the biggest disappointment in that game. I've got to be honest with you. That moment really sucked. It was to the point where I was like, they might as well just cut it, like, because you just end up running away from it in some scripted sequence and then blowing its head off. And people might say, but you kind of did that in the original. I'm like, yeah, you did, but at the same time, you could end up dying before you realised the best way and the easiest way to kill the giant alligator. Having said that, yeah, they keep cutting stuff, and that's a bad thing. They should be doing this because there's a humanoid, so you can scan their movements or whatever else, and their body structures and things like that. You can scan it easy. So there's no excuses for cutting characters or enemies in this game. If that is the case, of course, we're not saying that is the case. We can't, because it hasn't been confirmed. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, Luis and Leon, they fight Ganados, and then Dr. Salvador busts in, and there's like a boss fight with him. It's interesting. I could see that happening. New enemies. There's loads of cut enemies and stuff that you can find out about on YouTube. So that'd be interesting. Then maybe they'll add them into it. But yeah, I don't know about these leaks here. I'm not too sure. Like, there's no real source or anything. It's just this dude just jumped on Reddit and spoken about it. So thought I'd let you guys know, keep you up to date. But yeah, I don't know. What else? Giant spiders. I don't think giant spiders are going to be in it. I really don't. Like, we haven't had giant spiders for the longest time. They've disappeared, like infected crows, and what were the other ones? I'm trying to think now. I can't remember. But there were some other enemies. So yeah, they haven't been in the series for a very long time. So I can't see that happening, definitely. And as for sort of like making the village a lot larger, well, of course it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? This is a remake. It's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be like a mini hub world type of scenario, kind of like what they did with Villages, or Resident Evil 3's little hub world of Raccoon City. Even though it felt actually smaller than the original Resident Evil 3, but it is what it is. It was still like a tiny little hub world, that place that you revisited and backtracked to. So yeah, that's the leaks. Who knows if they're true? Who knows if some of that will turn out to be true, or if the last leak video I did is more close to the truth. Who knows? Take this with a big grain of salt. This one definitely. And if more comes out about it and they match up to these leaks, then I guess this guy was on the money. If not, then it's all bullshit. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll have to see how this all pans out in the coming months, and what more sort of leaks out and stuff that we can get details on. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're a fan of my content. Have a great rest of your week, and until next time, I'll be System Check 66. I'm out of here. Peace.